Hi everyone, Zach here. It is Thursday, June 24th, 2021, and we are back on the bamboo farm. And this is the latest what's going on here. So, first things first, check out the plants. Since our last update in April, the plants we've gotten, the rainy season has started. It came a little bit late this year for sure, like as in probably like just the beginning of this month, June. But it is definitely here now. We've gotten a little over 2 inches of rain over the last few days, and in the few weeks prior, we've been getting some pretty good amount of rain. So, but it did take a little bit longer than last year. But it's here now, and we are very happy that it's here. So you'll notice just looking out at the plants, what's really awesome to see now that we're in year 2, and as we go forward, is when you look out at the plants, you see the growth of last year, and then you see the new growth this year. So when you take a look out, I'll show you. You'll see like there's, the plants are sort of bushes, right, that are probably somewhere around between 4 and 6 feet tall for the most part. And then you'll see these new culms that are coming up out of the bushes, that started out as those shoots. They come up out, and now they're culms that are now in the range of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet. Some probably even maybe a little more than that. So take a look at that here. You can just kind of see them, just reaching up for that sunlight, reaching past the growth of, maybe months prior or a year prior, and then just getting taller and bigger. And what happens is, kind of as we talked about last year when we looked at our older field, is we end up with these thicker, taller canes that end up putting out more branches, more leaves, which in turn creates more photosynthesis, more energy for the plant, so we can keep doing that again and again in this basically an exponential cycle until we are getting closer to that 3-inch diameter mark. That's what we're looking for, is that 3-inch diameter mark. That's when the shoots are really become edible, and then all the way up into maturity. So so it's just something really awesome to see. And now that we are in the solid growing season here of year 2, we can see that. So what else is going on? We did our basic fertilizer program, 12-4-12, that granular 12-4-12 that we've done now several times. We did that again about 2 weeks ago, and we did it at 1/2 pound per plant. So that is the latest on fertilizer. They definitely needed it because it was like beginning of March that we did it. That we did that first round for this year. So they definitely needed some nutrients, and we got the 12-4-12 together and got it out pretty quickly. We might look at doing something a little bit more fertilizer-wise on the next application, which will be around September. We may look at doing a little bit heavier, maybe on nitrogen and just nutrients in general. But for now, the 12-4-12 is just a really good baseline that is going to allow that, plus the rain is just encouraging just beautiful growth. So that's the latest there. Besides that, I really don't have a whole lot to put in the update here. Things are overall going really well. We are extremely happy with the drain tile that we installed in about February of this year on that update, where we had the pipes that were laid down these beds. That has done a huge job. I mean, we can tell a major difference when we get 2 inches of rain now this year versus last year, or even the year before with our older plants. just the way that the field handles that water, the way that it drains, and the water is where we want it, right? It's in the swales, not sitting on any plants, causing any problems. So very happy with that. And the drain tile system is at least a 20-year system. So I mean, if it's working now, there's really no reason why it shouldn't continue to perform for many years. So besides that, let's see, just the typical mowing. Here's an example, so I can just show you like a little bit of the kind of an example of how the swales hold that water, that excess water. Might be a little bit difficult to see, but that's an example of just, we want that water. We're okay with that water sitting in the swales like that, several feet away from the plants. We just don't want it sitting up on the plants, and that was, something that we're kind of having problems with especially on our older field in our first year. So, but yeah, and the drain tile's done a huge job of keeping that at a level that is safe, for the plants. So yeah, so besides that, just the mowing stuff is pretty typical. The grass is growing like crazy, so is the bamboo. Bamboo's a grass. It's growing like crazy. And we haven't done anything as far as like cleaning out the plants, and you can kind of see the weed pressure is starting to come back in a lot of these clumps. Just kind of show you here. But the good news is that we know, like, especially with what we see with the older field, that as these plants mature, like next year, they gain a really respectable area around the bases that even some cases like right now, where the emitters are still visible. And that's really important to have those emitters visible so that we can make sure they're not clogged, so that when the plants need water during a dry period, we know that they're getting that water. But here's kind of an example here of a little bit of a bigger plant that's already got a pretty respectable base going. And this one here is also putting out some new shoots, got some new growth. It's probably about 10 feet tall. So that's kind of cool to see. And then for the ones that are a little bit smaller, not as many leaves, not quite as bushy, the weed pressure is coming back a little bit, but definitely not as bad as anything that we've seen. And what we'll probably end up doing is just kind of coming through here towards the end of the growing season and just cleaning things up. So that way, really we're looking at, one, maybe two more times of doing that. And then the plants are just going to be shaded out and self-mulching themselves. So, all right, well, take a look. I'll give you one last look at the plants here. Maybe we'll walk around, and that's pretty much all that I have for the update. So, doing very well. Nothing bad to report here. The plants are growing, shoots are coming out. Check out this plant here. You can definitely see that bushiness starting to come together. Some of these rows, we're in a 12-foot, bed here across, and the plants are starting to touch a little bit. Across the 8-foot section, they're definitely starting to touch. Plants becoming 8, 10, 12 feet tall. So just as this continues through the season, the branches come out, the more leaves come out, it's just going to continue to build on itself, and it's really a fantastic thing. So that's all I have for this update. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And if not, I will see you all in the August. 2 months from now is going to be the August update for 2021. So thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone's having a great year so far, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.